hello. Welcome to another live stream talks, the most international live show in the world.
Oh
Welcome,
dear.
everybody. Yeah,
Hello.
nobody saw it. Nobody saw it.
Oh,
I just right. Okay. In that vein, I just want to share screen. We may well go picture in picture, but I want to show something that's on my screen. So if
Okay.
I click there and go share, which I've done now.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Do you know what's on the right hand side, Chris?
You are
Of my
muted.
screen? You are mute. Yeah. Basically, whenever I put a video on now, I'm going to put that post-it note on the screen to say you are muted.
Yes.
And I'm not going to take it off until I've actually unmuted myself, because twice now I've had problems on Amazon and Chris has been saying you're muted. So that's
And
the
Stephen
permanent
didn't
solution.
see it.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's a
I
good
understand
idea.
that. I understand that, Stephen. When we talk about live on Amazon and you're muted, I'm pretty sure that you're talking about some Charlie Chaplin movies, right?
It could be anything. It could be anything. But the problem is that as soon as the video stops and you don't talk, Amazon waits 7 or 8 minutes and says there's nothing happening here and cuts you off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Amazon
I've
is
done
really
it, I've done
strict
it
about it.
twice. Yeah, I've done it twice now, and it's annoying. And the other thing, I learned 3 lessons last night. One, always unmute after the video. Now I've got a card, that will help. And the second is, if you do an Amazon live broadcast, normally you sort of post it early in the day, so it goes in the shows to watch, upcoming shows. If we're broadcasting live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and something goes wrong, we can just start again. You can't do that on Amazon, because if you just start again, nobody knows you're there, and you've got a great big viewers equals 0 against you, and people will never watch a video that's got 0 viewers after 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I then my next lesson was, if you do have a problem on Amazon Live, you actually set a new show to go live an hour later, and that worked a lot better. So learning experience, we're learning all the time. There's always something new coming along.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Amazon, it's a different monster.
Because yes.
For instance, I think I already talked about this. I was doing a live show, like you like to do, Stephen, and I was actually live. It was not a pre-recorded video. I was walking around the city, a really beautiful place with the river on one side and amazing buildings made by this Pritzker winner architects, Portuguese architects. And suddenly I got this message: you were shut down because you're violating the community rules of Amazon.
Oh.
You cannot play pre-recorded videos. And I said, what the heck?
Yeah. Yes.
And this happens to lots of people. I don't know if that happened to you, Stephen. But
Well, I'm going to play a video tonight, which is 30 minutes long, which is it's a 2-hour show, so that's a quarter of the show is recorded video. But I'm physically there. I'm physically there, and I put myself bottom right hand corner of the screen.
I think it's a good option to make a picture in picture for a while.
Yeah.
From times to times, because like that they can tell that you're actually there. Because I think that's why it happened to me. I was showing in the back camera and they were not seeing me, even though I was speaking all the time. But that's life. And then I was there for 10 minutes, really frustrated, saying bad words in Portuguese about Amazon.
Did you make a sale?
Yeah, I made a couple of them.
There you go.
Then I said, what the hell? I'm stronger than you.
Yeah.
And I started again, and it took me a while to get viewers again. Yes,
Oh.
it took
That's
a
good.
while
You
to
got them.
get to get viewers again. So that's the thing about Amazon. But today, okay, we should make first the introducing roundup. Chris, how is the weather and everything there on Belgium?
It's sunny weather in Belgium and everything is okay here. It's fine.
Perfect. And okay, Stephen, you're a man, so ladies first.
Ladies first.
Maria.
Hi, I'm from Ontario, Canada, and the weather is like amazing here. Very, very hot. I'm going to the beach almost every day, swimming and walking, and really enjoying the summer. Just taking the time off. As I said, I've gone into semi-retirement now, so I have to. There's a completely different mindset when you go into semi-retirement. I didn't realize how difficult it is, but I'm getting accustomed to it slowly and really enjoying my time. Thanks for asking.
Perfect. You're welcome. You're welcome, Maria. And you, Stephen, how are you?
Je m'appelle Stephen, j'habite en Angleterre. Aujourd'hui, the celebrity.
Stephen.
I do have reason for doing that, and the reason I've got the French flag behind me as well. So we'll come to that when we get to the main question.
Okay,
perfect.
Okay.
You're teasing us. Shame on you,
yes,
Stephen.
he does that. He's a little imp.
So because I think all of us are so thrilled with this moment from Stephen. So let's get to the topic of today. We are in a time machine, okay, and we have the possibility to get back to two moments in our lives. In one moment, we just have the possibility to live it again. And the second moment, we have the possibility to change it. So, starting with the first one, we want to live it again. Chris.
Oh, that's a difficult question. Because I had thought, I am an historian, and I had thought that I could go in the past, in the time of the Romans and the Middle Ages. And so I could just ask all the questions that I have where I have a solution to find for in my thesis. Thus, that was a very practical solution for me. But in my own life, it's a little bit difficult, but I think I know what it is, and it's a very delicate thing. I am living still in the house of my mother and my father. I have taken care for my mother. Now she has deceased, and we have an inheritance question. Okay. And that's more than 7 years. And it's before the court. And there is no solution at all. Nobody has found how to speak with my sister and with her husband. That's a great question. And that's also the reason that I am now learning to negotiate, because when nobody can find a solution, then the only solution is that I will do it myself. And I am doing that with the Black Swan group from Chris Voss, who is a former FBI hostage negotiator.
Oh wow!
So that is what I am doing now. And of course, when I had a time machine, I wouldn't do that now, but I wanted to do that 7 years or 8 years before. So I haven't the problems that I have now at the moment. And then I could have a very good life with my cats, and everything would be okay. And now it's a very problematic thing. And I'm very lucky that I have the live streamers, because that is another thing that gives me perspective and gives me hope and gives me joy. Together with my cats, of course. So that's it for me.
Oh boy.
Perfect. And one moment that you would love to live again.
The moment before our mother died, I had to care for her. But before that, I was always busy with my job in education.
Mhm.
And when I could do that again, I would invest more time in the family. I haven't done that because I was ambitious.
Mhm.
I would make something for the children and for my colleague teachers. I have done that, but I have forgotten my family, and that was not so a good idea, like you see now.
Yes, for sure.
Okay,
Makes
really
sense.
good. Let's cross the ocean till Canada.
Oh boy.
Maria,
What a
share your
question.
thoughts with us.
Oh, Marco, it's tough. It's tough. If I think back, um, what would I, time machine wise, what would I do differently? I don't know, really. It's a toughie because at
Ah, yeah, of course.
it is
That's the point.
you're terrible with these questions. Well, when I left for Europe, I was 20 years old, I believe, and the whole family went with me. We made it like a family event because my mother comes from Rome, Italy, and so I went back there to study at the Conservatory of Music, and the whole family was there. We had a lovely time. We met her siblings, of course, and it was just a lovely, lovely time. Um, I would like to relive that. I mean, there's so many moments in my life I'd love to relive it. So I would love to relive that again as a whole family because that was probably the last time we were all together. And then everyone started to get married and go in different directions. Of course, we met each other during the summer times because they would come and visit my parents, and I was very close to my parents. So I would say that one I wouldn't mind reliving again. And now you need something that I would change. Is that what you're asking? What would I change?
Yes.
Goodness. That again is a real toughie. Would I want to change anything? Probably not. I think I mentioned this once before, maybe I wouldn't have gone to Europe, although that was the dream I had since I was a little girl, and I never regretted it because I learned so much culture and history and languages and, music. Like it was such a gift to be in Europe for 10 years. But maybe have stayed in Canada and gone on to study at the University for Literature because I love literature. And then probably gone into real estate with my dad. He was a real estate investor. Maybe I would have gone and done that with him, but I had no interest at that time. I saw him, I was helping him with things, but I never had any interest. But I think if it was anything, that would be the moment that I would have done it in my 20s, stayed at home, of course, moved into an apartment or something, but staying close to my family. Again, I was 10 years I was away, but I came back every summer, but it's not quite the same thing. And then maybe working with my dad and becoming a real estate investor instead of waiting until I was 49. But it's a real toughie, Marco. It's a real toughie. You have bad questions. Makes you think. Oh my God, makes you think. Well, that's it for now, everyone.
I'm such a bad guy.
Yes, you are.
Shame on me. Stephen.
The flag behind me is the French flag representing Europe. If I could go back in time and do something differently, I would go back to June 2016. I would go back to a time before we voted to leave the European Union, before Brexit. I would campaign because I just sat back and we all thought we're not going to leave. We'll never leave the EU. This is not going to happen. We don't need to do anything. Just And then we woke up on the day after the vote, and we were shocked. The whole half the nation was shocked to find that we'd actually left the EU because there still is no sensible reason. We've got empty shelves in the supermarkets. Everything. Well, we've got a shortage of drivers because so we can't actually transport goods from one place to another. A whole legion of things have gone wrong. So I would go back to before the referendum and try and persuade people and you need to persuade 1% of the population that staying in the EU is a good idea. And we'd get everybody involved. We'd make sure that people listen to common sense. Failing that, the whole shebang, the whole thing happened in 2013. That's where it all began. The Prime Minister, David Cameron, had a problem with his Conservative Party. And the basic problem was this, that half of them wanted to be in Europe and half of them didn't. Right? So he decided that he would give them a parliamentary vote and they could vote on whether we stay in Europe or not. Okay. That became the referendum which we all took part in. If in 2013 somebody had whispered in his ear and said, I should have done it. I know I should have done it. Whispered in his ear and said, don't do that, David. Whatever you do not give the vote to anybody. We don't want it. We want to stay in Europe. So changing Brexit would be my preferred place to go back to. I'll go multicolored now.
Right, that background. I love that background, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. The other place that I would, the real time I would like to relive is that we're very fortunate for 10 years each year to drive from Manchester in England down to Dover to get on the Hovercraft Sea Cat or go through the Channel Tunnel, go to Amiens, stay overnight in Amiens, drive down to Lyon, stay overnight in Lyon, and arrive in Fréjus. And I would love to be able to relive that with my two sons and my wife. And that's the time I go back to. That's a very happy place to visit, because France is a beautiful country. The food is beautiful. People are great. The further south you go, the better they get. And you can, I mean, you've got genuinely sunny weather, which we don't get in the UK. It's the exception, not the rule. You've either got to be in south of France or in Portugal to get good weather.
Yeah,
that's
true.
You should. And the food is amazing as well.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I think the main difference is that Portuguese people are a little bit more tan than the French people.
Yes.
As you can tell.
Yes. Very tanned.
So that's my turn.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's.
Yes.
I don't have. No, I do. I
No,
do.
come on, that's not fair.
Okay.
No,
No.
you
I
said
do.
the
I
question.
was
You said the
joking. So
I
the
know.
first thing, if I could get back and relive a moment, I was 9, so it was kind of 2 weeks ago. And I think it was the only time that the whole family spent vacations together, because my father had a company, okay, a small company. It was not multinational. It was a small company with I don't know, maybe at that time that could be at around 10 employees. Okay, he was a painter in the building industry.
Yeah.
And so that time he managed, because I don't know if you know it, but usually Portuguese, we are really suspicious about everything. Okay, and we think that nobody does things as good as we. When for instance, when we talk about business owners, business managers, and mostly business owners with a small company, usually they think, okay, if I live for 1 hour, this will go down, and it feels like a
Yeah.
a castle castle card or car castle. A castle made with cards.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
With
so
you.
he made it at the, it was, let me see, I'm about to go 44, and on that vacations I made I celebrated my birthday there. I made my 10th birthday, so it was almost 34 years ago.
Wow.
And
Oh,
we went to Algarve and we spent there 2 whole weeks, 2 weeks there, okay? 14
Okay.
days.
Yes.
And it was a really pleasant day, and just this. I think it prescribed the crime, so I can talk about it. My I don't know if you, maybe Stephen and Chris may remind this car, and maybe Maria also, the Citroen
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, we know that.
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely.
my father bought that car when he was in France, when he
Mhm.
came to the market, and everybody was
Yeah,
because it
of
was,
course.
and when he started the car, and it start going up, and it was amazing. People and so we had that car. Okay, it was a normal for a family car for five
Mhm,
people.
Mhm.
Okay,
mhm,
and when we went down, and I'm talking about crossing the whole country from north to south, because I live
Yes.
in the top of the Portugal.
mhm,
We were six persons in the car. Okay, even though three of them we were child. My sister was 11, I was 9, and the other girl was 9 as well.
mhm,
Okay, and her mothers. And then down there were a couple who were a sister and a brother-in-law of the other lady with who came with us. And so for instance, at the end of the day sometimes, and on the weekend, we went to see those more touristic spots in Algarve, even though the
yeah.
whole Algarve is a touristic place. Okay, and we were, let me see, 8 people in that car. Yes,
Wow.
That
it was
car
my
was on the
father
ground.
driving.
Yeah.
It was my
Yes.
father driving. Okay, I was in the seat with my mother, in the front seat with my mother, and there were, let me see, 5 people in the back seat.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You must have
a
been
whole
very tiny.
a whole moment of an anthem to the security and the safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this would be the moment I will turn back in
Mhm.
time. And
Hmm.
the fixing moment would be maybe the day I applied to go to high school, because here, when you finish, I think it could the preparation school or
Mhm,
whatever.
mhm,
Mhm.
Okay, we study 4 years. Here
mhm.
is a primaria.
Yeah.
Then we have 5 more years, and then we apply to high school, and then we apply to, hopefully, to university
Mhm,
if you want.
mhm,
Mhm.
Okay,
mhm.
so
Yeah.
if it was today, I will apply to, instead of, because at that time I was a kind of sports fanatic, and I wanted to be a physical education teacher, and I loved and this kind of things. And if it was today, maybe I would apply to business things. Okay,
Mhm,
because they're,
mhm. Yeah.
but because I love this marketing thing, even though I still love sports, mostly at the couch. Okay.
That's an
Okay.
easy sport.
No,
Yes.
no, no. For instance,
Really easy.
yesterday,
That's a brain
yes,
sport.
yesterday I played football. Sunday, yesterday evening, I went to play football again. This morning, I went to the gym, and this evening, well, night,
Mhm.
because it will be 9 p.m. here, I will go to play football again. And maybe tomorrow
Good for
morning, I will
you.
go to the gym again. And maybe, and not maybe, for sure, Friday morning, I will be at the gym again. Okay. So I'm becoming a sport. I truly believe that in Paris, I will be the holder Portuguese Olympic athlete.
Why not? If you've got to have a target, you've got a dream.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as like the coach likes to say, you just have to believe.
Yes.
There's no limitations to you. Okay, my knees. I have two limitations, and they are
Your
not
knee.
inner voices. They are my knees.
Yeah.
They are always saying, you're playing too hard.
Yeah.
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah. For
You,
sure. For sure.
you mentioned a moment ago a certain Citroen car which
Mhm.
had the most amazing suspension. It just purred upwards and the seats inside the car, I had one.
Mhm.
The seats inside
really?
the car were the most luxurious you could get. And to give you, for instance, we lived north of Manchester, and we used to go on holiday down to Cornwall, which is about 300 miles. And the idea was in those days that our whole town shut down for 2 weeks. Factories closed, work closed, shops closed, everybody went on holiday.
Yeah.
And we went down to Cornwall, and I drove overnight from Manchester past Birmingham, past Bristol, eventually down into Cornwall. We stopped on the way, but it was about an 18-hour drive. And I got out the car at the holiday park. I was perfect. Nothing ached. It was so comfortable in the car that you could drive for that length of time and have no problems whatsoever. And it lasted. The car was sold to me second hand for a very good reason. The radiator had a problem, and the radiator would occasionally leak. Now, you don't notice this at first, but I was driving. It happened twice. Once I was driving from London up to Manchester, and I got to Birmingham, and all of a sudden the car just came to a grinding halt. All the gauges had gone, and I was stuck on the hard shoulder with cars going past me at 70 miles an hour, phoning the AA to get assistance. And they came eventually, but I don't want to go there again. Soon after that, I sold the car, but not before taking it to Nice. And as I say, we used to drive Amiens and Lyon, and we used to part the stretch overnight. Well, no, true story. We were booked to go on the overnight train, which went from Amiens down to Nice non-stop. Okay, and we arrived at the station, and there's a sign up in French which said, "Today's train has been cancelled." Yeah. So there was no way of catching a train. The car would go on the train. We'd have our own separate room. It was luxurious and absolutely fantastic, but it wasn't going to happen. So we drove down, and I got just south of Lyon, and guess what? In this beautiful car with a beautiful suspension, the most comfortable seats in the world, the radiator blew again. So we made it to our holiday destination, went to what was called the English garage, and they took 4 days to repair it because they couldn't get the parts, even though we were in France. But my memories of the car itself, it was just a superb drive. And it's sleek, it was white, it had the great suspension, easy gears, and well, you do know you could fit 8 people in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All very skinny,
very
skinny people, right? Small, tiny, skinny people.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Not in today's standards.
Yes, absolutely. Because if they were 8 Marcus, I'm pretty sure that would be really
that would be difficult.
So you came with a nice topic. Next topic, getting back to past again, but this time with 4 wheels.
Okay.
And let's talk about our first car.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Chris.
Well, that's difficult for me. That was a second-hand Nissan car, a little Japanese car, and I have learned to ride with that car. After that, I have also learned that at school in Belgium, because we have some exams to do. Therefore, I was through the exams, and then I have used it, I think 4 or 5 years, and then he said, "That's all." He was up, but then I had work where I couldn't use the car anymore, or just for riding a tour on Sunday, and that's a little bit difficult and not so smart when you do that, when you hold the car for just one ride on Sunday. So I have sold the car. And now I don't have a car anymore because I can ride with, I can can make tours to the work with the train.
Okay.
Yes.
Ecologic choice.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Excellent.
Maria.
Yeah, that brings back a lot of memories, Chris, because when I was living in Europe, we didn't have a car. I didn't have a car, but we went by train, bus. They have such a wonderful system. You
Yes,
guys,
now.
you in Europe, you have a wonderful transportation system. I only wish Canada and US would take it on, but of course, the big people that make so much money with selling oil and gas aren't going to allow that, right? So they make it very difficult with transportation to get point A to point B, which doesn't help business growth. My first car was a Gremlin. It was so cute. Teeny weeny, was a stick shift. I didn't even know how to drive it. My father had to teach me. So, here I am. I got it for $500. It was, but I was able to negotiate it down to $500. So my father was teaching me how to use the stick shift. And of course, I was very impatient. And I said, Poppy, it's going very slow. He says, but you're just learning. It has to go slow. So that was my first car. Wonderful memory with my dad. And it pained me when it didn't work anymore. But the other one, Chris, was a Nissan. I loved my Nissan. And I had it for many years. I got it secondhand, that one also from a friend. But I cried when it broke down. I couldn't drive it anymore. It was such a wonderful car. It took me everywhere. It never broke down except at the very end. And now I have a Honda. I have Hondas. I've had Hondas for 21 years, and I love my Hondas. They're just as good as the Nissans. But yeah, it's that interesting that you had a Nissan too. So that's my stories.
It was a little one, a Nissan Micra.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Nissan Micra. Yes.
No, mine was a bigger one. I had to go camping with it, so it's a little bit bigger.
Okay, Mr. Healy.
Right. Before I became a broadcaster, before I became a programmer, before I became, I used to be an accountant. No, I've said it now. I used to be an accountant. I was trained for several years. And one of our clients owned a chain of electrical shops. And the electrical shops sold brown goods, televisions, and white goods, fridges, freezers, etc. And he was looking for an accountant to take over from the guy who was retiring. And I used to do his books. I used to do the audit. I used to go every year around the shops and check everything and make sure everything was okay for the taxman. So I knew the business. I knew the business well. So I applied for the job. And he said, okay, yeah, you know the business. That's good. What package would you like? So I said, I would like a certain salary, okay, which was pretty good in those days. And I would like a car. And he said, a new car. And I said, yes, I would love a new car as part of the job. I only had one problem at that stage. Having been accepted for the job, I had not passed my driving test. So there you are. I've got a job. I've got a job with a brand new Vauxhall Cavalier, and I don't have the license to drive it. So he said, okay, as soon as you pass your test, then you can drive the new car. And he was true to his word. And I got the new Vauxhall Cavalier, one of the first ones to come off the production line in Ellesmere Port. It was a beautiful car, except I was driving to work one early morning, and I don't do early mornings. I was just driving down the road, and before I knew it, this lamppost moved and came towards me and hit the car. Well, in actuality, I drove into a lamppost, but I swear it was moving, and I dented the brand new car after 2 weeks of using it.
After 2 weeks.
Got repaired. I kept it for another 3 or 4 years, but that's my new car story. So it's a lovely accident sort of relationship, but it was good.
Those bad lampposts, they just, just chasing us.
They do move.
They are bad persons. So let me surprise you. First, my actual car, it's a Nissan.
Oh my
Ah,
goodness! Isn't that
so.
something?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. And the first car after I finished my driver's license, because here in Portugal, first you have to there's two it's the driver's license process to get it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's divided into steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
first you
Yeah.
need to learn the rules,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and then you make an exam, a theoretic exam at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then you can go to the driver's lessons,
Mhm.
and at the end you have another exam,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully you will be able to drive. And the first car I drive, because my father liked this holdy cars, uh, was just a little bit. The first car I drove was, oh my god, a Renault 4. Do you remember that car?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I'm pretty sure that Stephen reminds, and Chris as well, because
Oh yes.
in the some years ago it was the car of the police in France,
Okay.
the
Okay.
gendarme.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay.
and 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 it was okay because, for instance, my mother, when she and my sister, because my sister, she's older than me 2 years. We make
Mhm.
our birthday, it's on the same day, September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
I I like to say that I was the present she got when she made two.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think she's still really disappointed and frustrated because of that present. But all of us, we learned to drive on that Renault 4. And
Mhm.
it's funny because I don't know if you know how the gears worked on that car, because usually, I think the typical North American gears are in the wheel drive as well, but they are more like this, right?
They are, but a standard is usually on the side. The standards are usually
Okay,
on
like
the side.
here, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
in England as
Mhm.
well, and in Belgium as well. But on
Yes.
the Renault 4, it's here,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at the side of the wheel drive.
Okay.
Okay, and you have to do this, and you have to work really well with your waist. Okay, it's waist,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Your
And
Yeah.
wrist, yeah.
and the day before the 9/11
Mhm.
strike, it
Mm-hmm.
was my birthday, as
Okay.
usual, because
Oh yes, of
my
course.
birthday it's in September. And I got so drunk, and I went to a place. Let let me. Sorry. I went to meet my friends at the cafe. Okay, and
Mhm.
okay, first I ordered a kind of a round of beers or something, but the problem was that didn't stop. Okay,
Okay.
so I was sitting there, and more beer, more drinks, more whatever, and at the end of the night I was like this. And someone said, "Oh, someone has to drive Marcus home, and it's better to do this in his car."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I don't know how to put the gears. No problem, I can do that. So yes,
Oh my God, that's
yes,
funny. That is funny.
my friend was driving. Okay, and I was with the hand in the gears. Okay, let's do to the second one. Let's go to the third one. We didn't went up, just we stopped at third.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
but it was the end. We keep talking even though it was 22 years ago. We
Mm-hmm.
keep
Mhm.
talking about this because it was one of the most, because it's not easy to manage the, if you're not used, it's not
Mm-hmm.
easy to manage to
Mhm.
change gears on that car.
Yes.
Okay, but it's that moment. And for instance, a friend of mine, do you remind on your birthday that I had to drive you home? You yes,
Never forgot.
absolutely.
Good one, Marco. Very good. Very good.
Well, if you ask to my parents in that day, maybe they didn't found that as good. And it was well, it's not funny. It's kind of curious because it was, I think it was the most awful uh, moment with drink I had in my whole life.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And the very next day, I woke up with my sister calling my mother. Look, and my mother, what? What? Where is that? In America? Oh my God, really? And then I turned on TV
Mhm.
and I saw the
Oh,
plane
yes.
crashing
Ah.
Yeah.
through
Mhm.
The
the twin
building.
twin towers.
Yeah.
Building. The
Yes.
Twin Towers, yeah.
Okay, I'm still drunk. Let me turn off the TV.
Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
my story. Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
Stephen.
I mean, we can't forget that day. It's one of those days like,
Yeah.
what happened? Where were you when John F. Kennedy was shot?
Mm-hmm. Same
Uh,
thing.
Robert
Yeah.
Kennedy,
Mm-hmm.
Twin Towers. We all remember roughly where we were at that time,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
it's the sad moments to remember.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be good if we could
Yeah.
remember the good moments as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that was the start of 20 years of problems. I mean, the fact that troops have now pulled out of Afghanistan
Mm-hmm.
is good, but it's not the end of the problems that we have as a global
Mm-hmm.
force in
Mhm.
terms of what's happening in the Middle East. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
no
Never
solution.
stops. Never stops. Never stops. Yeah.
That's true.
Very
Mm.
sad.
And,
Very sad. Very sad.
and the whole thing, for instance, in the airports, that you have to almost get naked to
Yes.
pass through.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I remember another one. Let me share. Let us talk about funny things.
Okay.
I had a flight to Lisbon that
Mhm.
I don't know there, but usually there are lots of people going on Friday morning, 6 a.m. or something. There's lots of flights from Ryanair. They're
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
sponsoring this show. Okay,
Mhm.
let me do the disclaimer. So we had to pick the flight to Lisbon because it's really, I think they finished this flight, Ryanair, but it was, we had to be at Lisbon at afternoon because there was an event there, and I was uh, participating in a round table and everything. So we needed to pick the flight. And as usual, there's someone who said, "Oh, we don't need to go too early because it's easy." Like Portuguese people are like that.
Yeah.
Maybe your house it's burning, but oh no, 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 don't bother. Slow down. This won't be a big deal. It's Portuguese people. Don't bother. So we went with not so much many times ahead to pick the flight. And okay, someone is asking on Twitch if I want to become famous, buy followers, primes, and views on big follow. So if you want to become famous, just follow the instructions. So we got to the airport and we got this queue line, huge, because
Mhm.
there were flights to Lisbon, to London, to Paris, to Madrid, to wherever. Okay, if there's a big city in Europe, there was people wanting to fly to there.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we were almost in time. I had to take my belt off.
Mhm.
Okay, and my pants, they were a little bit bigger than they should.
Mhm.
Okay, because maybe I lost some weight, and so I was running, holding with one hand holding my suitcase and the other one holding my pants.
Pants.
Otherwise I will fall.
Those are memories.
and
Those are memories.
and the best thing is that the Ryanair terminals in that airport, as usual, they are in the really end of the terminal side, in the top. And so I was trying to run,
Disaster, right? Disaster.
Yeah, but we made it. We made it.
Oh, good.
So if you want to share any moment like this, be my guest.
No, some moments are best kept private, Marco. Yeah, I think that I'm grateful at the moment that the travel restrictions are being removed and we can now fly to Portugal and back again, and to Belgium and back again, and to Germany and back again. Angelica's mother was due to come over from Germany last year. She could come over this year, but it's highly complicated. So we've decided that at Christmas we're going to spend Christmas in Germany, and my favorite place
super.
to spend Christmas is Germany. So we're off to Germany.
Yes.
Whatever happens, we'll get there. We're flying this time, not driving, because it seems easier to actually do that. So looking forward to that. So something to look forward to.
Yes.
Later in the year.
Yes, yes. Very important, I think. Looking forward to things in our lives, having goals, I think it's very important. That's what keeps you young forever. Yeah. Keeps your mind going. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So next question. Where are you spending Christmas besides
Wir fliegen nach Deutschland.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, I can share another story about Christmas.
Yes, of course.
Okay, do.
So, when I was young, usually we spend and this with this thing we didn't do this, but for I don't know, maybe plus 35 years we do this Christmas in the house of a aunt of mine. Okay. And usually when we were me and my sister, we were children, what my father did, we went to the car to head to my aunt's house, and before that he put the presents. We left there the shoes, okay, and he put in the kitchen underneath the chimney the presents, okay.
Yeah.
And we hate, and okay, we need to go home, because we really to get the present, okay.
Okay.
So that year we arrived at home, we went to the kitchen, and there's nothing there.
Oh.
Look at his eyes. Look how big his eyes are. He's reliving that moment.
I was so upset. I cursed Santa with so many things. I don't know, maybe I was 8, 9. No, less than that. I was too young. And my father just moved the presents. Instead of putting them in the kitchen underneath the chimney, he put it in our beds. Okay, but I was so frustrated, and my mother sometimes she reminds me, do you remind that moment when you're cursing Santa Claus?
Good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, lots of fun.
And great. So hopefully this year we will get back to the normality, and we will go to my house. Yeah, because here in Portugal we are, as Latin people, as South European, we like this family gathering, okay. Yes. And so to eat codfish, we are not too fancy in the Christmas food. Is just it's just codfish, potatoes, and I don't know how to say. Let me translate, because there's something.
Okay.
Codfish, potatoes, and
I don't know.
Cabbage.
What is?
Cabbage.
Oh,
Yes.
cabbage. Oh, yes, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
Makes
yes,
sense.
yes,
That makes sense.
yes. And it's typical. Even though lately we are instead of the normal. Let me. Usually we like to do the boiled codfish with potatoes and the cabbage. Okay, but now we are introducing other ways of making codfish because, as I like to say, if we start January 1st cooking a type of codfish, you can eat breakfast, lunch, uh, something in the middle of the afternoon, and at dinner. Different types of codfish
Yeah.
Mhm.
plates, and you end at the December 31st, and you won't repeat only one.
Wow.
Yes,
That's how many.
yes,
That's how many recipes we have. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
For instance, I don't know if you know it, but in France, Portuguese people are known as were known at least like the codfishes.
Goldfish.
Okay. Okay.
There's I don't know how to say it in English. There's a place close to Labrador in Canada. Here we call it Terra Nova. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that.
Newfoundland. Newfoundland. That's what
Yeah.
it's called. Labrador, Newfoundland. Yeah.
Okay, it should. Yes, yes, yes. It makes sense. Yes, and we used to went to there to fish the codfish. Okay, so we fish the codfish. We open. Okay, like a tie. For
Yeah.
instance, when you use a white tie here, we say you're using a codfish.
Okay. Okay.
We put salt. We put salt
Yeah.
in, and then it gets dry.
Yes.
And for instance, before you cook this salty dry codfish,
Mhm.
you have to unsalty
Mm-hmm.
with water
Mm-hmm.
at
Mhm.
least 3 days. 3
Mm-hmm.
days before you cook, you
Wow.
put you cut the codfish. Okay, because it's kind of a
Mhm.
sheet like in this shape. Okay,
Yeah.
and you have to change the water, for instance, 3-4 times a day. Okay, in summer it's not recommended to do this because or you should put ice in the water. Okay, because otherwise the it will become smelly because the water will
Mhm.
become
I think so.
warm, and this is not good. Okay, but you need to change the water,
Mhm.
and for 2-3 days, for 3-4 times a day. Okay, so the codfish would be good, and it's kind of like this.
Yeah. I
And
know.
there,
Mom used to
this
make
is
it.
that my dear friend. It's
Delicious.
Delicious. Yeah.
No, my mom used to make it that way. She used to buy the salted cod, and she used to, get rid of the salt, and she would cook with it. Yeah, I've seen it. I grew up with that.
yes.
Delicious.
And there's a way you fry the codfish for a while, and then you put it in the oven with potatoes sliced in round
Mhm.
shape.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
with onions. And
Mhm.
this is my favorite, even though there, as I mentioned, there are hundreds of ways to cook codfish, but for me this is my favorite one.
Mhm.
I'm not a fancy guy. A sophisticated guy. Steven,
picture
what do
it.
you have to say about codfish?
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, making me
Yeah.
hungry
Surely
too. I mean, we are fortunate in being an island. Fishermen around the coast are able to catch a number of different species of fish, including cod. So we have cod in celebration of the fact that it's a Portuguese dish every Friday night with chips. and that's how we eat our cod in batter with chips.
Mhm.
But I mean, we've all got this picture of Christmas, and the typical Christmas is a Charles Dickens Christmas,
Yes, yes,
as in,
exactly.
as
Yes,
in the Christmas Carol.
yes.
And that's
Yes.
basically what takes place in every house in the UK, December 25th. It is all like Christmas carols, snow's falling, and
Mhm.
presents and everything.
Lovely.
And
But
the
we
ghosts
actually,
as well.
oh
The
yeah,
Ghosts.
that's
The
that's
ghosts
that's
coming.
that's the prime
Steven,
time for
Steve.
ghosts. Prime. And of course, the dish of the day is the turkey. Now,
Yes.
Yeah.
back in the day, my mother and father used to put the turkey on at 9 o'clock at night,
Mhm.
and it would cook overnight. Okay, and it'd be ready for lunch the
Oh.
following day. So they cook it for 15 hours on a very low temperature.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nowadays, of course, you can cook a turkey in 3.5 hours, which is a lot easier
Yeah.
to do because it means you can actually sleep. You don't have to go and check the turkey. You can just
Yeah.
lie in bed until you get up,
Aye.
and then you can actually cook the turkey. So turkey is a dish at Christmas, I would say.
Perfect. But let me ask you something. Which is the most important meal or emblematic meal? Because here, for instance, it's the Christmas Eve.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
The
Yeah.
the Christmas Day, it's kind of the after party. Okay,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
a dish here called roupa velha, which means kind of old clothes, which is the remainings of the codfish and the cabbage and the potatoes. They
Mhm.
are kind of mixed,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
and
Much,
usually
yes.
in the Christmas Day, at lunch we have two dishes. The roupa velha, which is the remainings of the codfish,
Mhm.
and the turkey.
Mm.
Mhm. Yes. Very nice. Well,
And
for
there,
my family, it was more important Christmas Eve. Excuse me. And then, of course, we met for Christmas. So we actually celebrate Christmas Eve with fish, only fish because we were Catholic. So only fish. The next day was with the meat. And then the third day, we would have friends come over, like my mom would invite other people. So 3 days of celebration. It was fun.
Wow.
I miss that
well,
because there's not many family around anymore. So I miss all that. Yeah.
if it was
Yeah.
here, it will be called a gypsy Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah, because for instance, I don't know there, but here when there's a gypsy marriage,
Mhm.
it lasts 3 days.
Oh,
It
does it?
lasts
Mhm.
3 days. Yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anything to celebrate, right?
In Belgium,
Absolutely.
at
And
home, it's New Year's Eve.
Oh, yes. New Year's
Yes.
Eve. Okay.
New Year's Eve is the most important day.
Okay. Interesting.
perfect. And in England,
Every day is important in England. We love our
oh,
food.
nice.
Ah.
Oh, I love it.
Right, okay, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to go with a wild one related to what Marco was just saying. One of our favorite days is Pancake Tuesday. And it's the same sort of thing. Basically, historically, it was basically using up all the food before Lent.
Okay. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Remember
we
that.
have a great tradition of making pancakes, and there is a national debate: should your pancake, which is made with eggs, flour, and water, should it be savoury or should it be sweet? It's a bit like the Marmite debate. You're either for or against it. So Pancake Day would be my choice of the typical English.
Oh.
Yeah, they used to have that in Canada too. The pancake day just before Lent. I remember that. Yeah, remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That question is kind of like, could a pizza have pineapple or not?
Yes, also a thing.
No.
Ask an Italian, Chris. Ask an Italian.
No, for the Italians, but I like
You
it.
will get killed.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
right. Yeah,
the
That's
best
sure.
thing that can happen to you is that you get killed.
yeah, that's right. No, actually, you've sinned, right? You've sinned. The
Yeah,
word
that's
sin
a
for
sin.
any Catholic
Yeah.
is you've done a sin, right? By putting that on top of a pizza.
Yes, I
But
think it's in Belgium the most popular pizza, but it's wrong. It's a sin.
Okay.
we don't have fruit in the top of the pizza, but we'll have amazing live shows. And next week it will be at
Steven's house.
Steven's house. And what are you preparing to us, Steven?
Tomorrow, next week, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. in Belgium. We'll be back, and I haven't got a clue what the topic's going to be. I will try and post something the day before, but I mean, yeah. Let me think on that one, Marco.
Okay. So, bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Have a
We
wonderful
will be
Bye.
back next
Bye,
week.
everyone.
Bye
Have a
bye.
wonderful week.
And don't forget, if you want to become famous on Twitch, just let me know.
Okay.
Bye.